We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Oh, topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively booming to the seams with topics. We've got topics coming out of this mouth. This mouthful orifice. This mouthful outlet. It's actually a few outlets grouped together. It contains an ear outlet. It also contains a sound outlet. Although it doesn't really. There isn't a separate hole for the sound to come out through within my mouth. There's an air outlet and there's a food outlet, which is mostly an inlet. It's not really supposed to be a food outlet at all. It's an emergency food outlet. The main food outlet is further down on the human person. Well, you probably know all this because you've got a human body yourself too. It's not like I'm the first person ever to own one of these. Everybody has one. It would be different though if I was telling you all about the new Toyota Corolla with built-in Wi-Fi, self-service steering, whatever you call it. No, self-driving car. If it was one of them, it would be different if I was telling you all about it. But no, you've got one of these bodies yourself, so you don't need me to explain to you where everything is on it, where the indicators are and all the rest of it. Suffice to say though, once you know the basics, that the air inlet is one in your mouth and one in the middle of your face, and the food outlet, the main one, is further down, but there's an emergency one in your mouth where you have to make sure to open your mouth when using that. That's about all you need to know. The rest of it you learn as you go along, mostly during the first 10 or 15 years of your life. You don't need to it's not like a car where you have to have a test before you get into it. No, you've got time. You're given time to learn these things. It's a far more civilized way of doing it, if you don't mind me saying so. The way we run the human race is a lot more civilized than the way they run cars. Or is it? I don't know. I suppose there are safety issues involved. If you were to put someone in a car and say, oh, just learn this as you go along, there'd be safety issues there, but there'd also be issues of increased happiness and low stress, because people would say, oh, I can just learn this as I go along. Isn't it great? No stress. No, don't have a big car test coming along. Not until it's 18 years old anyway, my school leaving exam. Apart from that, no. Anyway, hello and welcome to the Into Your Head temporarily daily summer show for Wednesday, number 768. Will we tag anything else onto the title? Do you want to, hey, me of the past, do you want to tag any extra words onto the fucking file naming system now? You have up to show 768 Wednesday's temporarily daily summer show. Christ, for the fucking hell, OCD cunt. Just call it today's episode or something. Jesus Christ. Anyway, hello and welcome to the show.
You're listening to
the Into Your Head podcast
from Ireland with your humble proprietor, Neal.
Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, well, you're probably thinking the same thing as I am. Today's podcast, it's only 3.25 minutes old so far, but it's got off to a much better start than yesterday's one, which was very much substandard. Yesterday's podcast was substandard. Strangely enough, I just finished making it a few minutes ago. That's probably why it's fresh in my memory, and I was worried about today's one. But we've got on to a good start. Things are looking up, I can tell you. Are looking up. It's not an REM song. Look. No, it's not. It's looking. I'm confusing it with I Ate the Lotus. Haven't you noticed? I ate oh, that's why I thought it was up, because it's on an album called Up. There you go. Haven't completely lost it. Haven't gone nuts completely. There was a reason for that song popping into my mind, and it's because it's on an album called Up. I remember it well, because I listened to a bit of it on the internet. I've been listening to music on the internet. I signed up for Spotify. You go in and you say, hello, I want to listen to every music in the world. And they say, certainly, you can have every music music in the world except the Beatles. And I'll say, oh, thank you very much. I'll listen to every music in the world. But on some Beatles, please. And then I searched for some Beatles, and there's a fucking Beatles cover band for no real Beatles. They say, no, you can't have the Beatles. They're a special case. Nobody has the Beatles. iTunes didn't even have the Beatles till a few years ago. They say, oh, that stuff's very rare. You can't be just throwing the Beatles in anywhere. It's like gold. It's very valuable. It has to be treated with kids' gloves. It's like so you have to go up to the record company and say, hello, nobody's heard your Beatles music before. I know you're being very protective of it because you want to release it a bit at a time so people can hear it, but can we please put your greatest hits up on our thing? And they'll say, no, we don't want to be just throwing around Beatles songs all willy-nilly for people to just hear it on demand whenever they want, because that will be spoil them. And they'll say, oh, Apple Records, with these Ferrero Rocher, you are really spoiling us. Does that mean anything to you foreigners? It probably doesn't. There was an ad there used to be a television advertisement for a confectionery product called Ferrero Rocher, and there'd be some ambassador hosting a dinner event, and he'd have the butler passing around Ferrero Rochers, whatever you call them, Ferrero Rocher, something like that. One of the guests would say, oh, ambassador, with these Ferrero Rocher, you are really spoiling us. And then the butler would come along and punch her in the face and say, my lord, do you want me to throw her out? And the ambassador would say, no, I'm a fucking ambassador. We're supposed to be doing diplomacy here. I realise she's an annoying cunt, but this is a fucking embassy. We're supposed to do diplomacy here. It's the one thing we're asked to do. I've chosen a career in diplomacy, and you think I want to just punch one of my guests in the face because they're sarcastic about the frigging snacks that are paid for by the taxpayer? For fuck's sake. And then the butler says, oh, it's okay. We're just fictional. This is a fictional version of a real commercial. And the real commercial, this doesn't happen. In the real commercial, it's still all fictional as well. So we're like in that movie. We're down 2 or 3 layers of fiction. Just like in that movie about the dreams. You know, the one with the dreams. Inception. There's a movie called Inception. It's this some fella having a dream. And then he has a dream about having a dream, and then he has a dream about having a dream about having a dream, and then he has a dream about having a dream about having a dream, and he goes down several levels. It's just like, I've had dreams like that, as a matter of fact. I've had dreams where, it was up levels rather than down levels, but I used to have a recurring dream about an old home of mine. You'd go up into the attic, which was converted into bedrooms, and then you'd go up another stairs, and there'd be another attic. You go up 10 layers up. There was attics, and every time you convert the attic, there's a new attic appears above it. It should be, in theory, it should be smaller because there was a sloped roof bungalow, so each attic should be progressively smaller. But I don't think that was the case in the dream. That dream was very unrealistic. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Dreams aren't supposed to be realistic. Real life is supposed to be realistic. If you ever wake up one day and you start noticing that real life isn't as realistic as it should be, then you have a problem. Don't worry about dreams. Dreams don't need to. Your dreams are not documentaries. They don't need to be realistic. They may be based loosely on real life, but no, they're not. They're not. You get the general idea. Anyway, 2 cats walk into a multi-level dream. One of the cats goes straight up to the multi-level dreams fictional bar counter and says, hello, can I have a pint of whatever will give me nice dreams? And the man behind the bar says, certainly, sir. Pint of milk it is. And the cat says, is it indeed? Ow. And the cat says, what's that? And the other cat says, oh, I think the host of this podcast just accidentally rolled his swivel chair wheel over his foot, which doesn't have a shoe on it for some reason. And the cat says, oh, that would explain it, I suppose. But that's a further up level in the dream. We've descended further now, so we should be beyond that. Although I would explain why we were able to hear him going ow, because we're a dream within that dream. So a further level up, that's interesting now. Someone rolls over his foot in a level, one level up from this, and we can hear it. And the other cat says, it is indeed. And I can tell this is a dream because both of us cats are talking. Usually in these stories, the two cats go into the bar, but one of them disappears off forever. And the other cat says, oh, that's interesting now. That's a new development, isn't it? And the other cat says, it is indeed. Rather a refreshing one. It's quite novel to be talking to. In the real world, if this was the real world, we'd both be talking to each other all the time. Otherwise, why would we go into a bar together? But no, in these things, usually one of us goes straight up to the bar counter and the other one just disappears. It's fucking weird if you ask me. And the other cat says, I'm a bit bored of you now. Would you mind disappearing? And the other cat cries, and the other cat punches him in the face, and the other cat says, what did you do that for? And the other cat says, to cause you pain. Did it work? And the other cat says, yes, it did. It worked. It caused me pain. Are you happy now? And the other cat says, I wouldn't say happy, but I'm content. My natural instinct has kicked in and I've satiated it, so I think I'm content. And the other cat says, you're very self-aware for a cat, aren't you? And the cat says, am I? I hadn't noticed. And then he goes up to the bar counter and says, is that pint of milk ready yet? And the barman says, it is indeed. Would you like it? And the cat says, no, thank you. And the barman says, well, you have to pay for it anyway. And the cat says, how in the name of Christ am I going to pay for something? I'm a cat 3 or 4 layers down into a fictional multi-level dream. Ordering a pint of milk. In fact, I didn't. Now that you mention it, I didn't specifically order the pint of milk. I ordered whatever will help me sleep, and I disagree that this will help me sleep, especially if I don't drink it. And the barman says, "You have a pint there, a pint of my finest cat milk." Oh! And the cat says, "What do you mean it's cat milk?" And the barman says, "Well, it's not milk from a cat, but it's that milk that they make." That cow milk that's specially formulated to be suitable for cats. They make it, they take out the lactose or something, because cats are lactose intolerant. And the cat says, "I've got nothing against lactose, as long as they're lactose in the privacy of their own home and don't hurt anyone." And the man behind the bar says, "Oh, that's very witty, well done." And the cat says, "Thank you very much indeed." And the barman says, "You're welcome, I suppose."
Remember, we value the opinions of you, the humble and ignorant listener. Email studio@intoyourhead.com.
Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking he's 12 minutes in. He should cut his wins there and not chance doing another segment in case it goes downhill, because then he'll end on a low, and then you'll think, "Christ, I'm losing it," and then he'll lose all confidence. He'll have a crisis of confidence, and when he goes to start recording the next episode, which he'll probably do tomorrow or the day after, you'll think, "Christ, the last 2 episodes were crap," which isn't the case, because so far this episode is being above standard, in my humble opinion. But no, you're thinking I should just leave it now and cut this one off now. Well, I'm not going to. That's a defeatist attitude, or whatever the opposite of a defeatist attitude is, I suppose. It's more of a triumphalist's attitude. It's an overly cocky attitude as well. No, let's just push through and get another couple of minutes out of this, and just hope that it doesn't go to the dogs. It doesn't go to the dog. Not there's anything wrong with going to the dogs. They say that. They say, "Oh, that thing over there is going to the dogs," meaning it's gone downhill, and as if you're supposed to think, "Oh, it's going downhill, that means it's bad." No, going downhill is a good thing. It means you're saving energy, and in fact, you may well be creating kinetic energy. Can you create kinetic energy? I don't know, but you can do something with it. I don't know. You can probably power. If you're going downhill on a bicycle and you're freewheeling and you've got a dynamo thing on the wheel, then you can create energy or convert energy and use it to light up the light or plug a charger into it. So you're certainly getting electricity from somewhere. I just don't know the physics of whether or not you're creating it from scratch. Well, you're certainly doing something positive, I can tell you. So let's carry on. What's that song? Something, 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 something. Carry on regardless. Got enough money for one more beer. Carry on regardless. It's either the Beautiful South or their predecessors. I can't remember which. They're both gone now anyway. They've both broken up. That's what bands do. They get, after a decade or two, they break up. They say, that's enough now. We're done here. After all these years of making albums and touring, we're finished now. We're going to just basically get ready to die. That's what they do. R.E.M. did it recently. They said, we're done now. We're going to break up. They're just going to break up and sit around waiting for death, or else do some solo work as well. I don't know. That's what it is. It's a rather depressing world, I find, the music industry. When they do that, they say, "Oh, we're done now. We're 48. It's time to stop doing anything. We'll just give up the ghost and go and retire, or go and I don't know, have a nervous breakdown, or spend our millions, or go into politics, or write a book." Your man now, a Queen, he went and wrote a book about fucking space or something, just because he has a doctorate in spaceology. He decided he can write a book about space, and he also campaigns for Badgers in England. Brian May out of Queen, one of the finest guitarists known to man. He's obsessed with Badgers now. Don't follow him on Twitter, wherever you do, where it'll depress the fuck out of you. He goes on and says, "Oh, the British government are trying to have a cull on badgers because they spread bovine TV or something." And he says, "Oh Christ, leave our badgers alone." Now, I can understand the affection for badgers that he might have had, because when I was a child, BBC Children's Television had a programme called Bodger and Badger, and it was a very entertaining thing. Basically a children's sitcom starring a talking badger. Bodger and Badger. Oh no, that wasn't real. Brian May, Bodger and Badger wasn't real. Real badgers are a very different kettle of fish, and you should educate yourself about something other than astronomy before going on about them. So with that in your pipe and smoke it, or whatever you do. He did have a song in the 70s about a pipe. He said something about sitting on his father's knee as he puffed about as baby. Something my father said to me. It's from the Queen, the Game album. Brian May does the vocals on it. As he puffed his pipe and baby he dangled on his knee. Something like that. Keep good company. That's what it's called. Basically about his father giving the advice while hypocritically smoking a pipe, which probably ended up killing him. A load of bollocks. If you ask me. Brian May, no offence. Still a fan of your music, but not of your badger obsession. Go and be obsessed with badgers somewhere else. We don't want your badger obsessiveness over here. Anyway, good morning.
Sit, Frosty. Sit. Good cat.